Star vs. the Forces of Evil is the property of Disney, Darren Nefsey, and all respective owners. Any and all images have been used for the sole purpose of critique or parody and as such are protected under fair use. Please support the official release. Hey, how are you? I'm Sliceville Otaku, and it's time for the review of the greatest Star vs. the Forces of Evil episode yet. This episode had my emotions whirling and swirling. It was just that great. The episode starts off at the Diaz house where they're having a beginning of summer vacation party. And Marco is very stressed out over the possibility of his best friend Star having a crush on him, so he talks to Jackie about it, although very vaguely. He doesn't seem to go into any details, he just says that Star is being weird. And, you know, from Jackie's perspective, if I was Jackie, I would just interpret this to be Star's brand of weird, which is magic, which is something I don't know too much about, so I'm just gonna, stay out of that realm. I'm gonna back away from that. And although she doesn't know if she can help him or not, she tries to. She tries to take his mind off of it and move him. And whether or not you're pro Jarko or Starko, you have to admit that Jackie is a good girlfriend in this regard. She's very conscious of Marco's feelings but isn't overbearing. She doesn't include herself to the point where it's suffocating, and she gives Marco space, which is an incredible virtue but in a lot of cases will lead people to hurt you. That sort of freedom and good treatment is often taken advantage of, and we'll touch upon that later on in this video. Star begins to come downstairs, and really she's just as bummed out about this as Marco is. And when she sees Jackie and Marco, initially she decides to avoid them and step away, but convinces herself to confront this, to move towards them and try to act normal. And her trying to act normal is hard to watch, it's cringy. But you know what, Jackie once again is a good girlfriend and decides to step away. Let them have their moment, let them talk it out. She makes up the excuse that she has to use the bathroom, which gives them an opportunity to speak privately, which is very cringy. They do that shake bump thing and yeah, it's hard to watch. This horrible exchange causes Star to call forth an emergency meeting with her friends. And with that, we're able to see what each of them is doing at the time, and I want to know more about Kelly. What the hell is Kelly doing here? She's like fighting a monster, but then says, "I'll see you next week, I have something to do." What does Kelly do? We then cut to Ludo's new home where a bunch of rats are just having a corn eating contest. They're having fun, it's the night show, and then the real squad, the magical high commission, just busts through, each with an entrance worthy of being a mixtape cover. These guys look so cool, it's beyond me. And my girl Hekapu actually uses her dimensional scissor daggers to teleport Ludo's bird and spider to Earth. And I'm actually curious what role they'll play from here on out. What will they do? Because them being transported to Earth of all places, I feel as though this can be utilized in some regard later on. And they actually rip this man Ludo out of his bed. He is sleeping. I don't know what I would do if I was Ludo in that position. Somebody wakes me up like that? Man, we're having problems. And apparently, Glossaryck is gone. In this emergency meeting for Star and her friends, she tries to convince them that she does not have a crush on Marco. She thinks he's cute, but that's it. And that's her just attempting to not exactly convince them, but more so convince herself. They attempt to redirect her attention by bringing her to a cool kids party. Queen Moon and Ludo know each other on a personal level, and she tries to expose this man, but he rebuts everything that she says. He has a response for every single thing that she says. She says that the crystal embedded in his wand rightfully belongs to her family, and he tells her to take that trash. It doesn't even work anymore. What does he need that for? Take it if you want it. She questions why he's in an ancient monster temple, and he tells her it's cold outside, it's brick, why would I not be in here? It looked nice compared to where I was in the wild, and nobody was living here, so I came in and made it mine. Man, I love Ludo. He made Queen Moon's question sound so stupid, like why are you asking me this? Obviously I'm struggling, I'm wearing a bag of chips for clothing. The rest of the High Commission realize that this is going nowhere, so they decide to start looking for Glossaryck within the temple. And Moon continues to talk to Ludo, but instead of, persecuting him, she decides to get real and talk to him about his family. And Ludo turns around slowly and says, "Let me tell you about my family." Like really, Ludo has like some of the best dialogue in this series. Ever since he was casted out into the wild, he's just become such a more incredible character. I love him, I adore this character.
Fast forward to the cool kids party, and it turns out to not be that cool because that lame boy Oscar is there. Oscar has always been a lame in my book, and that haircut is not changing anything. We then cut to Jackie and Marco having an intimate moment where Marco is still troubled, but Jackie is trying to take his mind off it once again. She tells him to try and read her mind because Marco is just thinking about Star right now. He's just thinking about himself and Star and kind of neglecting Jackie. Once again, put yourself in her position. You go to your significant other's party and they're barely paying attention to you in comparison to their friend. You want to have fun, you came to have fun, but they're bummed out. But regardless of all of that, she's here for him. And I don't see how you can hate on that. We then get back to Moon and Ludo having a conversation, and Ludo is reliving a memory of when he was 5 years old with his brother Judo. And because we as the audience enter this scene so abruptly, we don't really get a gist of the context. But this doesn't stop us from understanding that this was a difficult time for Ludo. His expression is sad, and the way that he rambles, the way that he says, "Ooh, and then when I was 5 years old," we understand that this man was struggling. But it's clear that Ludo and Dennis had a relationship that was different, and that's why Ludo actually asked how Dennis is doing. But then there's the part where Moon expresses that she is worried for Ludo, and Ludo lashes out, "Worried about me? I lost my army, I lost my kingdom, I lost my clothes, but I'm still here, I'm still standing." And this just shows how amazing this character is. He is definitely a troubled character, but his conviction, his ideology that he has to just keep moving forward, it's breathtaking, it's incredible. He may not be the brightest character, but his conviction for sure shines bright. He's gone from this stock image bad guy who just wants Star's wand and her magic to take over, to this believable victim of circumstance. Life was rough for him, nothing was just handed down to him, so he decided to ascertain things by his own means. And Queen Moon asks how much longer can he keep this up? This lifestyle is not healthy, and the expression that Ludo gives is of someone who needs to be saved. And from being with this amazing character, we go back to this lame Oscar. And would you believe that this man Oscar dropped out of high school to pursue his glorified Guitar Hero career? But explain to me how you drop out in freshman year. What's that about? Where are your parents? And suddenly this man likes Star. I don't know, I don't get it, but he does. And this fool actually thinks that he can replace Marco. I'm done. He launches off his keytar and expects it to go to Mars. Like, you need to stop hitting those keys and hit the books. Then we get back to something that actually matters. Lekmit finds the spell book and it's blank. There is nothing on any of the pages and Glossaryck is gone. They go to tell Moon and she is out for the count, black-eyed and everything, which is reminiscent of when Glossaryck went to the Magical High Commission. Toffee takes control of Ludo once more, and his hand bonds together with the wand. This is crazy, and Omni steps to him. Omni is like, "You should not have done that." But Toffee takes him out in one blow and absorbs his power, becoming stronger. Do you understand what I just said? He took out the ruler of time and space in one blow and absorbed his power. What? He thrashes Romulus. Hekapoo steps to him and she's doing her thing, she's bobbing and weaving, but he thrashes her too and takes her powers as well. And every time he takes their powers, he puts them into this limbo state. Their eyes become black. And High Chancellor Lekmit is continuously revitalizing them, which simultaneously drains his own life force. And they are continuously getting beat down. Lekmit is clearly at his limit, but sacrifices himself to revitalize Queen Moon. Lekmit dies in this fight. He gave up everything to save Queen Moon. And really, by placing them all into this vegetated state, Toffee pretty much killed every member of the Magical High Commission, some of them multiple times over. That is insane. Without even breaking a sweat, he is smiling the entire time. The only damage that he takes is when Romulus hits him once in the back, which he recovers from instantly and just goes back to thrashing them. He takes their power throughout this fight. He is continuously getting stronger. It is crazy. I don't know how we're gonna stop this guy. Moon recognizes this threat to be Toffee based on his missing finger, and this leads into an epic
fight. It is amazing.
Queen Moon goes into full butterfly state and has this epic battle with Toffee. It is so cool. And they even go as far as to having like a lightsaber battle, which is funny to me because Disney now owns Star Wars, so I think that was pretty cool. And Queen Moon absolutely gets wrecked. She is broken down, beat up. She then uses this last resort move that just blows apart the temple, giving her an opportunity to flee. This move was so powerful that it knocked her out of butterfly state entirely. She gathers up every fallen member of the Magical High Commission and pushes them through the portal, and this includes Lexmit's ashes. But before she herself leaves, Toffee says something. He says, "Tell Star that I'm coming for my finger." Toffee is the realist. He is terrifying. And mind you, he did all of this while half of his body was encased in crystal. And I wonder if he's actually absorbed the contents of the magical spellbook. And I don't think that he's absorbed Glossoric's power. I think that Glossoric is doing something entirely different. I don't know, that's just my intuition. And something that wasn't really of significance in this episode that really caught my eye was when the Cool Kids party was crashed by the police. Now, one of these delinquents says something to the police that ticks them off. And when we see the police officer's face, all I can think of is Yellow Diamond from Steven Universe when she was called a Claude by Peridot. And what's interesting is on his hat, there's actually a yellow diamond for the police force, which I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I think it's really cool. And really, if Star vs. the Force of Evil is throwing shade, I don't care. They're winning, okay? This episode, better than all of Steven Bomb 5. Don't at me. Back at the party, Marco and Jackie are having a fun time. They're throwing pizza nuggets in each other's mouths, and Star comes back and interrupts this. And when Star comes back and interrupts, Jackie is left hanging. And man, I don't care if you are Jarko or Starko, you have to feel bad for this girl. She does not deserve this. This is straight up neglect. But anyways, the two of them talk this out. They have a meaningful conversation. Star was paranoid, she's tripping out that they can never be friends again. But Marco explains that no, he wants to be friends. Even though it was weird, he does want to be friends. And they hug it out and they're all happy, which sadly doesn't last long. Star goes back up to her room and her mother is in there and she tells her that she has to leave from uni. And Star turns up. She's like, hell no, I'm not leaving from uni. I love it here. I'm doing my thing. We just made up. I just made up with Marco. I'm doing my thing. You can't take me back just like that. And man, I swear Star is lucky I'm not her parent. The way she was talking to Queen Moon, This child lost her damn mind, but she quickly got it back when Queen Moon mentioned Toffee, because Toffee is the real one. He will smack those hearts off of your cheeks. Then Star says give her 2 minutes so she can say her goodbyes. And really, once again, if I was her mother, I would not give her that time. You don't get to say goodbye no more. We're just going because of how you talk to me. But Star goes downstairs and calls Marco, and they have a audience now. Everybody's watching, including Jackie. And Star confesses that she actually does have a crush on Marco. And look at Jackie's face, man. Oh my gosh. And Marco doesn't know how to feel about this. He's just confused, and Star is crying. She runs off crying. And then Marco runs after her. And once again, look at Jackie's face. Oh my gosh. This episode was abusive. This episode was cruel to Jackie. Jackie has done nothing wrong. She has done nothing wrong. She's done everything right. And she's just getting abused. I don't like it. I do not like it whatsoever. But when Marco reaches Star's room, the magic begins to fade away. It's leaving along with her. And that's what we're left with. That's the end of this incredible episode. And we don't even get the typical I think Earth is a pretty great place credit scene. We get just emptiness. And if you actually stick around to the ending of the credits, you'll see that Oscar's guitar crashes down onto the ground. But yeah, this video is long enough, so I should probably end it here. This was easily the greatest episode of Star Versus yet. but feel free to remind me in the comments, and be sure to share this video with everyone. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.